Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good Shabbos to you. And we welcome you to our service, Kabbalat Shabbat, which is online this week. We hope that everyone is warm and safe and dry, and no one is impacted too severely by the weather that seems to be coming through our way. We are going to begin our Shabbat service this evening with a beautiful melody by the composer Judith Silver called Open, about being open of hearts and hands and mind and love. We'll sing together.
Open my eyes to truth, open my hands to give freely, open my lips to good words, to pure words, open my heart to love. Open my eyes to truth, open my hands to give freely, open my lips to good words, to pure words, open my heart to love. Open my eyes to truth, open my hands to give freely, open my lips to good words, to pure words, open my heart to love. Open my eyes to truth, open my hands to give freely, open my lips to good words, to pure words, open my heart to love. Open my eyes to truth, open my hands to give freely, open my lips to good words, to pure words, open my heart to love.
Beautiful. We continue as we prepare to kindle the lights of Shabbat. We invite you to read together. On this Sabbath, we welcome the Shabbat into our midst. On this night, we express the love in our hearts for all people everywhere. We celebrate that we were created in the divine image. We pray on this Sabbath that all humankind will be able to escape oppression and taste the freedom of the promised land. As we light our Sabbath candles, let their glow light our way from obstacles that still hold us in darkness. Let the Shekhinah lead us with a pillar of smoke by day and a pillar of fire by night through any wilderness toward equality. May this Sabbath tapers inspire each of us to wholeness and holiness. So we have Shabbat candles right here, and hopefully you are able to see them. Get my matches here. Go. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessings that we offer for our children, for loved ones and friends, for anyone that we would wish to channel our goodwill toward, and our hope for blessing toward this Shabbat Eve. And we say these words, Heyu asher tihiyu, v'heyu baruchim ba'asher tihiyu, be who you are, and may you be blessed in all that you are. And we offer as well this plural expression of Birkat Kohanim, the priestly benediction, Yivarechechem Adonai v'yishmerechem, may God bless you and keep you, Ya'er Adonai panav elechem v'chunechem, may God's light shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elechem v'yasem lachem shalom. May you feel God's presence within you always, and may you find peace. And we say Amen. Continuing with Kiddush.
I have this beautiful Kiddush cup made, I am sure, by a religious school student. I hope you have something in your hand right now as you join together as we bring holiness into this evening. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom techila lemikra kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kitashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadish hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim indeed. L'chaim and l'chadodi. Come, my friend, to greet the bride. Together, let us welcome the presence of Shabbat. And when we get to that last stanza, if you would like to stand up wherever you are and face the entrance to the room to greet the arrival of Shabbat in your particular location, you are free to do so. L'cha dodi.
Shabbat בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך לקראת כלה פני שבת נקפלה לך אדוני לקראת כלה פני
The Hatzi Kaddish, the Reader's Kaddish, provides us with a doorway into the Shema and her blessings, the next part of our service.
יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה בעמד יברח חירתי וימליך מלכותי וחייכון אביומכון ובחיית כל בית ישראל בגלה בגלה ובזמן קריב וימרו אמן יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולם מהמיה יתברך יתברך וישתבח ויתבהר ויתרומם ויתנשיא יתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו להילה מן כל ברכתה ושיעתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תמירן בעלמה וימרו אמן.
Baruch Hu, the call to worship on page 146 or in the next slide. If you're able, we invite you to rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Join together, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bidbaro Ma'ariv Aravim V'chochma Poteach Sha'arim Uvitvuna Mishane Itim Umachalif Et Hazmanim Umisader Et HaKochavim V'mishmerotehem Barakia Kirtzono Bore Yom V'Layla Golel Or Mipnei Choshech V'Choshech Mipnei Or Uma'avir Yom Umevi Laila Umavdil Ben Yom Uvein Laila Adonai Tzavaot Shemo El Chai V'Kayam Tamid Yimloch Aleinu Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Atah Adonai HaMa'ariv Aravim. Let's continue together. You have loved the people Israel with a never-ending love. You have given us your Torah laws and statutes to guide us so that our lives may be filled with holiness and happiness. We know that we must find ways to strengthen our faith and hope in you. Your Torah acts as our inspiration. Help us, O God, to find ways to renew our commitments as Jews. Teach us to feel proud of all of our identities. For you, Eternal One, made us as we are. We say, praised are you, source of all, who is the lover of the people Israel. Baruch Atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem
Continue with the chanting of the Ahavta. If you've been standing, you may have a seat.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובחומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Sing the song of humankind, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come. The song of a land once ravaged by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more. The song of a world redeemed, the song of peace, and the song of redemption. Mi chamocha will sing together. In the spirit of Hashkivenu, a prayer for a restful night, let's join together in the English. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, v'al kol amo Yisrael, v'al Yerushalayim. We move into the tefillah, with this kavanah, this intention on the next slide or page 164. And again, we invite those who would like, who are able to please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei hakol, v'zocher chasei avot v'imahot, u'mevii gula livnei v'neihem, lema'an shemo be'ahava. Melech chozer u'moshiach u'magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah rav v'hoshia, morid hatah. Mechalekei chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim v'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato lishenei afar, michamocha bal kevurot, umito melech, melech mimit umachaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehallelu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'il hakadosh.
Continue quietly with our own personal reflections, and please take a seat when your prayer of the heart feels complete to you.
We rise, humbly hearted rise, won't be divided, rise, with spirit to guide us, rise, in hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here. We rise, all of the children rise, elders with wisdom rise, ancestors surround us, rise, find ourselves here in hope, in prayer. We're right here. We rise up from the wreckage. Rise with tears and with courage. Rise fighting for life. We rise in hope, in prayer. We find ourselves here in hope, in prayer. We're right here in hope, in prayer. We find ourselves here in hope, in prayer. We're right here. We rise, humbly hearted. Rise, won't be divided. Rise, with spirit to guide us. Rise.
As we always do at this point in our service, pardon me, we turn our thoughts and our prayers to those who are in need of healing at this time, and especially this Shabbat. We mention aloud the names of Amy Karotkin, Sharon O'Neill, Robert Lasky, Monica Burgett, Beverly Perlman, Beverly Taub, George Arnold, Ann Byron, Yvonne Carson, Betty Clark, Dr. Mel Cohen, Marilyn Croman, Ariel Srinchazi, Elaine Dond, Desiree Emberson, Cindy Gartner, Olitha Griffin, Sandra Gross Schulman, Louise Gurney, Bruce and Janice Gurney, Jim Haley, Nathan Henderson, Marilyn Kerman, Faraday Kermani, Betty Lichtenstein, Sally Lichtenstein, Zoli Lushanowski, Laura Maldonado, Anna Meia Deach, Gracie Miller, Mark Nathan, Robin Nelson, Maxine Orkabi, Ann Pepper, Gary Pico, Michael Pico, Ari Rachowski, Jim Roque, Pamela Scott, Faith Sievert, Raymond Skip, Gloria Strachey, Fran and Larry Unger, Kathy Walker, Lauren Wietrek, Eliezer Mordechai, Ben Rachel Leah, and all of the others whose healing is of concern to us. And we offer this blessing for all of them as we say, Baruch Atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. We praise you, eternal God, source of healing to the sick. And we say, Amen.
We've come to that special moment in our service, the one that we do on the fourth Friday of each month, where we celebrate Shabbat and the joyful moments of our community with Seder Kriyat Torah. So if you are in a space where you'd like to rise, I invite you to do so as we continue on page 363 or on the slide available. Happy is the one who finds wisdom, the one who gains understanding, for its value is greater than silver, its yield than fine gold. It is more precious than rubies, no treasure can match it. Sarah, we're going to have to unmute in order to hear you.
Thank you, Rabbi Levi. Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, ki mitzion tetzei Torah, udevar Adonai mirushalayim.
In this scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it.
Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah. Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadol Adonai Iti, V'neramama Shemo Yachdav. Lecha Adonai hagedula, hagevura, v'hatiferet, v'hanetzach, v'hahod, ki cho b'shamayim uvaretz, ki cho b'shamayim uvaretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, v'hamitnaseh.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I hope you're all safe, dry, and comfortable in your own home. This week is one of those special weeks where we have a double parsha, and there's something quite beautiful about two portions at once, because it just means double the amount to go through and be able to figure out what it is that you're going to talk about. So this week we're in Acharei Mot Kedoshim, two very rich and robust parshiot, and we combine them. So there's a lot to choose from. Acharei Mot literally means after death. So this is a reference to what happened a few weeks
And then, unfortunately, Rabbi Levi seems to be having a little technical issue there. So if we could go back to what happened a few weeks ago and start there.
It's, this is what happens. My internet does not love me. That is just a fact at this point. Can you hear me okay? Okay. So a few weeks ago, we read about the story of Nadav and Abihu, who offered up their own fire. It was an alien fire. And when they offered this fire, it was considered unacceptable by God, and a fire consumed them and they died. So this is the follow-up to that from what happened a few weeks ago. And in between, we had what I'll call a palate cleanser of Tazria Metzora, but it very well might be the one and only time Tazria Metzora is referred to as a palate cleanser. Just to be clear, those are not the easiest parshiot, but they are also quite comprehensive and full of wonderful information. Acharei Mot, after talking about the two sons that have been killed, it follows up with different commandments and rules that are associated with sacrifice. Specifically, it outlines what Aaron needs to do to make expiation for his son's attempt to come, as the Torah says, too close to God. Well, since I've been given the option of either Achrei Mot or Kiddushim, I think I'm going to talk a little bit more about Kiddushim. I do particularly love this parasha, and there's many reasons. Yes, it was in fact my bat mitzvah portion, and we also read it on Yom Kippur afternoon, so I actually know this portion really, really well. I also love that it's right in the very center of the physical Torah. So when you're doing Hagbah, it's super easy to lift the Torah and see it's quite balanced. But I also really love this portion because of the message that is reasserted over and over within this passage, and the fact that it speaks to us all on many different levels. The word Kiddushim itself is often translated as the holiness code. Kiddushim comes from the word kadosh, which means holy. It explains that in the portion, we human beings are holy because God is holy, because God made us, because we are made B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of God. We are holy. When I work with B'nai Mitzvah students, I always ask them what it means to be holy. What is this holiness definition? Over the years, I've collected many answers. Quite a few give me wide eyes and a look of great fear because they just don't know. I, of course, explain that it's fine not to know what it means to be holy. Others have a lot of confidence, and they say that it's something special, something different than other things, something somehow separate. To be honest, as an adult, I still don't really know what makes something holy. In fact, I have quite a few questions about holiness. Is it holy because we decided it was holy? Did someone label it as such? How did we decide what was different and what was special? Why did we even think about the concept of holiness? When you consider Parshat Kedoshim, it gives many examples of how a person can show their holiness. From leaving parts of your field available to those without food, helping the stranger amongst you, and of course, loving your neighbor as yourself. Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha. Kiddushim offers a number of ways to embody holiness. To me, though, the challenge lies within those first few verses. It proclaims that you are holy because God is holy. Full stop. In fact, according to this text, there is very little that you need to actually do in order to be holy. You merely need to exist. If that were the case, humanity would be in even greater dire straits than it already is in. You see, it's not just about being holy because you were born or because someone declared human beings holy. It's using our lives and the inherent ability we have to fulfill mitzvot and gimilut chasadim, acts and love and kindness. That is what truly makes us holy. As we are reminded of what it means to be holy, we now need to determine how we will use our holiness. What will you do to help make the world a better place? How will you continue to work to improve the lives of those who are around you? We have been given the gift of holiness, the sense of something special, something different, something set apart. So really, how will you let your holiness shine? With that, I say Shabbat Shalom. And as promised, we're going to continue with our Torah reading. We're going to read specifically from the beginning of Kedoshim, the first 4 verses from the book of Leviticus. If you are celebrating something special, something momentous, something exciting from the last couple of months, because we skipped this during our March service when we had parking lot Shabbat, anything that you are just thrilled to have in your life, I invite you to join with me in our blessings. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam. Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah. And so this evening, as we read from our portion, as I said, Leviticus 19 verses 1 through 4. Vaydaber Adonai el Moshe lemor, and God spoke to Moses, saying, Daber el kol adat b'nei Yisrael, va'amarta alehim, Kedoshim tihiyu ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem, and speak to all of the people of Israel, the children of Israel, and say to them that they are holy, that they will be holy, because I, Adonai, your God, am holy. Ish imo ve'aviv tira'u ve'et shabtotai tishmoru ani Adonai Elohechem. You shall revere and honor your mother and your father, and you shall also keep Shabbat, my Shabbat, specifically God's Shabbat, because I, Adonai, your God, am holy. Al tifnu el ha'elilim velohe masecha lo ta'asu lachem ani Adonai Elohechem. Do not turn to other idols or have other gods, make other gods before you, for I, Adonai, your God, am holy. And if you are thinking that these feel very familiar, that they sound like something you might have heard before, they are very, very similar to some of those 10 commandments that we have seen and we will see again. And so again, if you are celebrating something, I invite you to join with me in this after blessing. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Asher Natan Lanu Torah Emet, V'chayei Olam Nata Betochenu, Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah. So if you have great news that you shared with us, I know that we got a wonderful email yesterday or earlier today, sharing some of the wonderful news of our congregation, and I'm going to share a few of those with you. Mazal Tov to Abby Kinigsberg, who had a new book published called Cold Cuts on Rye Blur, and it's about the clay of daily life resculpted into fresh satire, humor, and insight. Mazal Tov, Abby, if you check that, the email you got, you can actually see a review of the book and perhaps buy a copy for yourself. Mazel Tov to Gladys Chandler, who just moved to Austin and has retired officially and formally from AECOM in San Francisco after 28 years. That is absolutely fantastic. Mazel Tov to Emmett Portnoy, who's going to be attending Drexel University in Philly. We are so proud of you, Emmett. I am thrilled with how much work you've done. And Mazal Tov to Richard Steinberg, who was able to present at a technology conference in Anaheim, California in March. That is very cool. I wouldn't know where to begin with all of that. That's amazing. And Mazal Tov to Josh Holdwerda, who started a new position as the Assistant Vice President at Merrill Lynch Financial Advisor. Wow, that is cool. Huge Mazal Tov. And I have to say also, Toda Rabah to Nicole Villapando, who donated a kidney in March to a person in Massachusetts. We are grateful to know you and grateful to have such a mensch within our community. And also Mazal Tov to Carolyn Yaffe Gay's granddaughter, who participated in an archery tournament and scored a personal best. That is fantastic news. And also Mazal Tov to Emma Rubenstein, who is graduating from Colorado State University just next month. Fantastic. A few new babies to welcome into our community. Alyssa and Mike and Selma welcomed baby Levi on April 15th, and his big brothers, Jake and Cole, are thrilled over the moon to have this new baby brother in their life. So he was very cute. We saw him last week at services and he was just delicious. I love that the Simon family got an excellent adventure in London. I know that was to celebrate Emma's bat mitzvah this past August, so Mazal Tov to them. And I have a special connection to the Mandels, who are introducing us to their new daughter, Indy Quinn Mandel, little sister of Pearl. Indy was born on my birthday, April 5th. So I am pleased that we have a third kid at this congregation to share my birthday. This is very exciting. And then, of course, happy birthday to Anaya Rose Ostroff, who turned 1 just like a week ago. That is very exciting. Happy birthday. And of course, happy birthday to Carol Calvary, who celebrated her 65th birthday in March and also became a great aunt to Avery Amuedo. That is very exciting. Jacob Burgett celebrated his birthday, as did David DeStefan, and so many other wonderful moments. If you are celebrating your good news with us, we are thrilled for you, and we look forward to be able to celebrate at the end of May in person. So with that, we are going to join in Shehechianu as we thank God for this joyful moment.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
And it is indeed that time of year where we are in the midst of counting the Omer, the time between Passover and Shavuot, as we are counting up towards the excitement of receiving Torah, counting down, I guess, towards Shavuot, which also happens to coincide a little bit with the end of school. So I know there's a lot of counting going on these days. So join with me in our kavanah, our intention setting for reciting the Omer. Hineni muchan umezuman l'kayem mitzvat aseh shel svirat haomer. I am ready to fulfill the mitzvah of counting the Omer. Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al svirat haomer. And today, with the help of my good friend Homer, we're going to count today's Omer. Hayom shlisha ve'esrim yom shehem shlosha shvuot u'shnei yamim le'omer. Today is the 23rd day, making 3 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. With that, we will continue our concluding prayers. Aleinu l'shabeach found here on the slide. If you would like, I invite you to rise as we join together.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, l'ateit kedula l'yotzer bereshit, shehu asanu k'shomrei ha'adama, v'hu samanu k'shlichei ha'torah. Shehu sam chayinu itam v'gor aleinu im kol ha'olam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'nehemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz, vayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
As we pause now to take community of friends and extended family and those within our community itself who we have lost in recent days. We think of Carol Nafak Kaufman, sister of Ruth Fagan Weiland, aunt of Rachel and Rob Rosenblatt, great aunt of Ella and Lexi Rosenblatt. Renee Kluger Subrin, mother of Laura Yeager, mother-in-law of David, grandmother of Nicholas Harrison and Gwyneth. Ian Dresner, cousin of Stan Edelman. Virginia Hernandez, mother of Rose Hernandez, mother-in-law of Wendy Abramson, and grandmother of Jordan and Harris. Arnold Kessler, husband of Naomi, father-in-law of David Kessler, father of David Kessler, father-in-law of Anne Alexander, grandfather of Miriam, Rachel, and Danielle. Arlene Basson, sister of Wendy Abramson, sister-in-law of Rose Hernandez, and aunt of Jordan and Harris. Adam Sadovsky, Bob Jungert, father of Lori Jungert, Sharon Dochin, mother of Robin Atwood, mother-in-law of Bill Atwood, grandmother of Tristan and Samara, aunt of Sandy and Carol Dochin, great aunt of Katie and Andrew Dochin. And I am saddened to share that we just received news that Rabbi Harold Kushner of many, many books that many of you have read died just today. And so we also honor his name and memory with our Kaddish. As well, we call to mind the names of those whose yahrzeits we commemorate on this Shabbat. Morris Ackerman, Celia Ackerman, Alvin Ackerman, Monica Ann Lelko Brown, Morton Beyer, Nathan Charney, Shirley Colbert, Earl Croman, Ben Dlugach, Milton Driss, Tina Gardner, Charlotte Gassman, Lena Goodstein, Henry Gross, Isidore Kleiner, Marnie Laami, Rose Klein Leff, Leon Lefkowski, Ida Levitt, Helen Rosenfield Moss, Max Lorch Mayer, Lee Jane Parson, Irene Pohl, Joel Manuel Rich, Shia Rosenberg, Morris Rosenwasser, Ellen Schondorf, Henry Shankman, Ann Talker Silberstein, Rose Solka, Milton Steinberg, Bob Sussman, Eli Taven, Selma Taven, Donald Talker, Terry Walder, Louis Zweig, as well as those who are a blessing to you and yours. We turn now to the words of Kaddish Yatom. If you would like, I invite you to rise as we join Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divrach Yurte V'yamlich Malchute, V'chayechon U'v'yomechon, U'v'chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala U'v'zman Kariv V'imru Amen. Yehei Shemei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam U'lamei Almaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar V'yitalev V'yitalal Shemei Dekudesha Brichu, Le'elam Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Da'amiran Be'alma V'imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'imru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav, Hu Ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'imru Amen. Zichronam Livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing as together we say. Just a few quick announcements. Hodaot for this Shabbat. Tomorrow morning, Shabbat morning services will continue. Shabbat morning Torah study, I apologize, Torah study at 9 a.m. with Rabbi Folberg, online only. You can find the Zoom link available on our website. And at 5 o'clock, there will be a PJ Havdalah with Carly. That is in person only. That will be in the CDC living room located next to the small parking lot of within our campus. Please make sure to register for this very exciting event on Saturday, May 6th. So in just 1 week, we will celebrate all of the past presidents and their families who have served our community with such dedication and commitment and strength, many during very difficult and challenging times within our community and the bigger world. So please join us to honor them on May 6th. I believe registration closes tonight, so please make sure to register as soon as you can. If you would like a great opportunity to volunteer within the community, Austin Pride is looking for some help. If you want to be a part of some of the fun and excitement of Pride, please go to this website or contact probably Claudia Sanchez, member of our community, will definitely help you out. So help us celebrate Pride happening in August. If you would like to be a mentor for a refugee between the ages of 15 and 24, you are needed. IAC needs help to mentor some of these youth and young adults. So please reach out if you need more help or information, and let us know if you are able to do this wonderful mitzvah. So this has been a week of Yoms, not just the days of the week, but the actual Yoms of Yom HaShoah, Yom HaZikaron, Yom HaAtzmaut, they all fall in these last weeks. So we're celebrating Israel. And what better way to end our service than with Im Tirtzu as we think about how we build that land for all of our people.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you so much for being with us this evening.
Shabbat Shalom, and I'm so sad that this week you will not get to taste the amazing challah that Rachel Slayton made for our community. And I will tell you this though, she signed up to make it for many other weeks, so you will get that opportunity. The great taste test of challah made by our community continues. So we have this beautiful cover made by somebody in religious school at some point in our history. We have this absolutely stunning challah. Look at this. It's wrapped in plastic for now, but it will be unwrapped soon. We offer these words of blessing. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Everyone, Shabbat Shalom. May your
Shabbat
week
Shalom.
be dry and sweet.